Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of high school football here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. My name is Ruben Valadez. I'm coming to you live tonight from Cozell Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium here at the Sac and Eagle Pass with the Southside Cardinals from San Antonio who have come in to face the Winn Mavericks in the second to last game of district action, the last home game of the season for the Mavericks. It's senior night here tonight. The CC Winn seniors will be having their senior walk after the game. We're just about ready for kickoff. The Cardinals won the toss pregame. They have elected to defer. And so the Mavericks will be receiving the initial kickoff of the ball game, going from left to right towards the south end zone. The kick is on its way. It's going to be fielded at the 21-yard line by Bobby Cabrera over on the far side of the field. Comes to the middle of the field now, still bouncing right. Ball is loose as Cabrera comes down to the ground, but he's able to corral it. And the Mavericks are going to have a good starting field position across the 30 at the 32-yard line. I want to welcome those of you who have joined us on the iVision YouTube channel. And those of you that are joining us on the Eagle Pass Sports Central YouTube channel and Facebook page. Ruben Valadez along with you here for the last Maverick home game of the season here at Cozell Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Mavericks are going to start from the 31. A Maverick team that played a very close, tight game a week ago against the Southwest Dragons, the Dragon Stadium up there in San Antonio. Ball on the near hash mark. Cruz Jr. rolls left, pumps once, now comes back to this side. He's got a little running room if he chooses to take it. Still looking downfield, though. There's a pass, and it is off the fingertips of Kevin Sugaki, but we're going to have a flag on the play. And the man that was trailing Sugaki on that play, Jesus Morales, had a handful of jersey right around Sugaki's shoulder pads, and the line judge down here saw that through the flag as that pass was just over Sugaki's head. We're going to get the call from our referee for the evening. It is a pass interference call against Southside, 15 yards for the Mavericks. Pete Hero is our referee this evening. The ball now is at the 46 after that 15-yard penalty to start the game, and it's a first down for the Mavericks. The Cardinals come in at 4-2 in district. They've beaten the two teams that you would expect them to beat. Three, actually. Cigarroa, Martin, and Nixon. Here's a keeper by Cruz Jr. He's going to get swallowed up in the backfield on this side of the 40 all the way back to the 39. And that's a 7-yard loss. Going to put the Mavericks in a second and long. A surprise victory for the Southside Cardinals last week against Southwest Legacy up there in San Antonio. Mavericks come in with a 2-4 district record, looking to get their third district victory of the year. They've got 2 games left, this one and one last game next week against South San up in San Antonio. That passes through the hands of Sugaki at about midfield. And on the incompletion, it's going to be a 3rd and 17 now. We talked to the coaches at the prediction show yesterday about the importance of down and distance in these games, getting a manageable 2nd and 3rd down. This is not the situation that the Mavericks want to be in on 3rd and long. Just underway here, 7 o'clock kickoff for this district because it's a Thursday game. Cruz Jr. is in the backfield along with Brian Leos on his right hip. The snap, Cruz steps up in the pocket, lets the pass go. It's incomplete, intended for Angel Espinosa, streaking down the middle of the field. Good coverage there, and the Mavericks are going to have to punt. Not quite a 3-and-out because of the pass interference penalty, but once the Mavericks had a fresh set of downs, it was a 3-and-out. The ball will remain at the 39. And Sugaki will be on to punt. 2 men back deep to receive this punt for the Cardinals. Number 13, not on our roster, here on the near side. And we'll get a number 4, the man standing on the far hash mark at about the 29. Sugaki looking to get off a good punt here, has time. The punt is on its way. Hits at the 31 and then takes a very good Maverick bounce inside the 20 all the way to the 18. Number 3, Jaden Iglesias was the return man in the area. Let that ball bounce past him. The Maverick defense now will come onto the field. A gritty, tough performance by this Maverick defense last week against Southwest. Looking to do the same here against Southside. The Cardinals are going to start at the 18 with 10:43 left in the first quarter on the far hash mark. Spread formation, man in motion now here to the near side. It's a keeper by the quarterback, rolls right. There's the pass. It is incomplete. Starting quarterback for the Cardinals is Josiah Escobar, and Escobar, his first pass is incomplete. Good coverage by Bobby Cabrera over on that far side. It was intended for Jaden Iglesias. There is a flag on the play. It's a personal foul against the offense. That's going to put the ball inside the 10 now to the 9. Where it's going to be a first and long now for Southside with 10:37 left in the first quarter. Mavericks unable to score on their first offensive drive. Now the Maverick defense on for the first time this evening. Here's a handoff coming to the wide side is running back number 23. First contact at the 15. Samuel Corona with the carry. And Corona gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. An 8-yard gain there. We'll make it second and about 12 now after that rush by Corona. Quarterback Josiah Escobar is going to be in the shotgun with the ball on the near hash mark. 3 receivers over to the top side of the formation, the right side, and 1 split out wide left. Delayed handoff to Corona now, trying to find his way through the defense. Good job, Humberto Munoz Jr. in on that tackle, as well as Gustavo Zapata. Both of those Maverick defenders are able to bring Corona down before reaching the 20 back of the line of scrimmage, the 18. Maybe a gain of about a yard there. It's going to be a third and long there. Third and about 11 now for the Southside Cardinals. Ball remains on the near hash mark. Escobar in the shotgun with 2 receivers to the right, 1 split out wide left. Escobar drops way back, now steps up in the pocket, is going to try to keep it himself, and the Maverick defense is on him for the sack. On the keeper inside the 15 to the 14. About a 4-yard loss on the quarterback carry there. And a good job by the Maverick defense of forcing a 3 and out against the Southside offense. The Cardinals are going to be punting this from very near their goal line. The punter standing at the 1-yard line. Bobby Cabrera back here waiting to receive this punt along with another Maverick return man at midfield. The punt very nearly blocked. And it's going to be fielded just on this side of the 50. And out of bounds goes the return man, Jaime Rojas. And Rojas gets that return into Southside territory at the 46. The Mavericks will start in Cardinal territory with 9:03 left in the first quarter. That first offensive drive for the Mavericks, other than a 15-yard pass interference penalty, not much going there for the Mavericks in that first drive, looking to get something offensively here. Past 2 weeks, we've seen Brian Leos run really hard with purpose and get good bunches of yards the whole way for the Maverick offense. Let's see if we get some more of the same here. From the shotgun, Cruz takes the snap. The handoff is to Brian Leos. Right up the middle he goes. He's at the 40, bounces left quickly to the 35 before being brought down at the 33, and it's a new set of downs for the Mavericks. That's a kind of running that the past couple of weeks we've been seeing from Brian Leos. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks at the 34-yard line now. The Maverick offensive line has done a good job of creating alleys for Brian Leos to run through. And he's taking advantage. And once he gets north and south, he's really able to run with some real toughness and a purpose. Cruz Jr. again in the shotgun. 3 receivers here to the near side. That's the way he's looking as he rolls right. Lets the pass go. It's caught inside the 30 at the 28. Out of bounds goes the receiver, Angel Espinosa, after the catch. They're going to mark this ball down at the 28-yard line. It's again is 6 yards, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 now for the Mavericks. Angel Espinosa getting more involved in the offense as the season has progressed. Angel Espinosa and Kevin Sugakia, the 2 main receivers for Juan Cruz every time he looks downfield. This time, Cruz has 2 receivers on either side of the formation with the ball on the near hash mark. The snap, it's a fumble on the handoff, and it looks like the Cardinals have fallen on top of it there at the 31. The first turnover of the ball game gives the ball back to the Cardinals at the 30-yard line. The mesh point is what they call that, the point at which Cruz Jr. hands off the ball, puts it in the belly of Brian Leos, and then removes his hands, and that just wasn't executed cleanly there. And the ball was on the ground. The Cardinal defense was on it quickly. 8:09 left in the first quarter, still scoreless, but the Cardinals have the ball for the second time here in this half, courtesy of a turnover, a fumble for the Mavericks. The toss over to the right side of the formation to the 33, gets the running back. Gain of 2 yards. Jolijah Pritchard with the carry. And it's a 2nd and 8 for the Cardinals from the 33. Under center now is the quarterback. Little counter to the up man. Tough yardage there for number 44, Arturo Banda, for the Cardinals. And Banda gets across the 35 to the 37. A 4-yard gain there makes it 3rd and 4 now for the Cardinals. We saw the first drive. We saw them open up with a spread formation with Escobar in the shotgun. Now Escobar has gone under center for these past 2 plays. Escobar now again in the shotgun with a running back on his left. 3 receivers to the left side of the formation here to the near side. 1 split out wide right. The snap. Escobar drops back, lets the pass go. It's caught at the 43 by Jaden Iglesias, and it's a first down at the 43. .6:28 left in the first quarter, still scoreless. The Mavericks were on their way before a fumble gave the ball back to the Southside Cardinals. This is their second drive of the ball game. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the 43. Escobar in the shotgun, takes the snap, drops back to pass. Steps up now, he's going to keep it himself. He's at the 40, 45, gets tripped up. Good job by Gustavo Zapata of tripping up Escobar as he neared the 45. He's going to be down at the 46. Gain of 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7 coming up now for Southside. This Maverick defense has been a bend but don't break defense. They put up a good effort last week against Southwest up in San Antonio, looking to repeat the same here. With the ball at the 46 now, the Cardinals on a 2nd and 7. About 5.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Escobar in the shotgun again. Toss to the right side. And the running back is pushed out of bounds near midfield. Corona with the carry there. A gain of 4 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 3 now for the Cardinals. The clock does stop as Corona went out of bounds, although we see it ticking here off to our right on the scoreboard. So it looks like Corona did stay inbounds on that toss play. Ball in the far hash mark. Escobar in the shotgun with two running backs in the backfield with him now, and two receivers here to the left side. The delayed handoff. Up the middle goes the man with the ball, very near to a first down, but not quite, as he's going to get pushed all the way back. Elijah Pritchard again with the carry, and Pritchard's going to get into Maverick territory to the 48, a yard shy of the line to get for a first down, and on 4th and 1, the Cardinals are going to keep their offense on the field. Tight formation now for Southside. It's a keeper. Little tush push there for Escobar, the quarterbacks. He's going to get the Cardinals first down at the 46. They're going to move the chains. 1st and 10 for Southside from there on the quarterback sneak. 3:50 left in the first half. In the first quarter, rather. 7 o'clock kickoff time here at Cozell Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Senior night for the CC Winn Mavericks. Last home game of the season. Escobar in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off. And coming to this side, chasing the running back down is who else but Humberto Munoz. That's Corona with the carry, and Corona gets only a yard on that sweep to the 45. Humberto Munoz, a senior, will be sorely missed next year on this Maverick defense. Usually all over the field, making plays. His younger brother, though, is on the JV team. They expect him to make an impact as well starting next year. Escobar rolls right, finds a receiver inside the 40 at the 38. The ball is caught by Maddox Salazar, and Salazar goes all the way downfield inside the 30 to the 29 for another Southside first down. This diversity of offense is what often has been difficult for this Maverick defense to control. We saw it last week against Southwest. They threw 4 or 5 different running backs, 2-3 different receivers at the Mavericks, and it's hard to adjust when an offense can be as diversified as this. Here comes the blitz, and the running back's going to run right past it, and he found a lane off to the right. Talking about a mix of weapons, that's Elijah Pritchard with the carry, and Pritchard gets very near to a first down to the 20 on that carry, a 9-yard carry for Pritchard. And it's a 2nd and 1 now at the 20-yard line. A drive that started back at the Southside 31 after a Maverick fumble, and the Cardinals are on the move now deep in Maverick territory with a 2nd and 1 at the 20. Escobar is under center now. The toss back to Corona, it looks like, and Corona is not going to get that first down. This is Pritchard again, actually, with the carry, and Pritchard will be stopped at the line of scrimmage at the 20, and it's going to be a 3rd and 1. We've seen the Southside Cardinals convert on a 4th and 1 once already on this drive, so you'd think that this deep in Maverick territory, this is going to be 4th down for them, even if they can't convert here on a 3rd and 1. A minute 16 left in the first quarter. The Maverick defense trying to hold up this Southside drive deep in their territory. Escobar on a 3rd and 1 from the 20 is in the shotgun with the ball on the near hash mark. Here is the handoff. He's going to get stopped again. Pritchard stopped at the 20. A bunch of Mavericks in on the tackle, among them Humberto Munoz Jr. and Gustavo Zapata. And just like we said, this is 4 down territory, 4th and 1. And this Maverick defense is doing an outstanding job of stalling this Southside drive here just as they are about to enter the red zone in Maverick territory. 25 seconds left in the first quarter. Escobar is going to be under center with an offset eye behind him, and there's movement on the left side of the line. The left tackle moved early. They're going to tack on 5 yards, And what was a 4th and 1 for the Southside Cardinals all of a sudden now is a 4th and 6. And we've got an official. Oh, this is a delay of game against the Mavericks. Some pre-snap activity that the officials, I guess, are saying made the left tackle move. And so that ball now is at the 15, and it's a first down for Southside. Unexpected. We saw the left tackle clearly jump on that south side, at the end of that south side offensive line. They're going to call this penalty against the Mavericks. 1st and 10 for Southside from the 15. Escobar rolls right, looking for someone downfield. The pass is caught by Maddox Salazar at the 10, brought down at the 9. And that is the last play of the first quarter. Scoreless at the end of one. Going into the second quarter, we'll switch sides of the field and be right back. At the start of the second quarter, still scoreless between the Mavericks and the Southside Cardinals, but the Cardinals threatening here a 2nd and 3 from inside the 10-yard line at the 9. Ball on the near hash mark. The Mavericks had the Cardinals at 4th and 1, and then a penalty gave the Cardinals a first down. Toss back to the running back, number 23, Samuel Corona, and Corona is brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 5 yards there, and it's a 1st and goal. From the 4-yard line, just at the start of the second quarter, no score between the Mavericks and the Southside Cardinals. And now the Maverick defense has to hold firm here with a 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. It's a quarterback keeper from there. The pile's going to move forward, and we have got a signal of touchdown from the official here on the near side. Now the official on the far side confirms a 4-yard tush push gets the Cardinals in the end zone, courtesy of their quarterback, Josiah Escobar. And for the moment, with 11:20 left in the first half, it is 6-0 in favor of the Cardinals. On for the point after attempt, which is good, is the kicker, number 15, Josh Orantes. And the score now, with 11:20 left in the first half, Southside Cardinals 7, Mavericks nothing. We'll be right back. Kickoff is on its way. It's going to be fielded over on the far side by Bobby Cabrera at about the 12-yard line, coming now to the middle of the field. Looking for some blocks at the 30, 35, 40, still on his feet at the 45, pushes a man out of his way. That's the kicker. The last one to take Bobby Cabrera out right at midfield. And the Mavericks are in business with good field position at the 50. 11:09 left in the first half on senior night, the last home game of the season for the Mavericks. The Eagles will have their last home game of the season here tomorrow night, homecoming night for the Eagles, as the United South Panthers come into town. Here comes the Maverick offense now for midfield, ball on the near hash mark. Juan Cruz Jr. is in the backfield with Brian Leos on his right. Man in motion to the top of the formation. Here's a handoff to Leos. He's got room at the 40, 35, still on his feet, and pushed out of bounds at the 31. And that's a good 20-yard gain there as they'll give him the 30. Brian Leos, again, we've seen him run hard these past couple of weeks. The home stretch of the season for the Mavericks. First down at the 30. We do want to wish the Thundering Maverick Band all the best. They're going to go compete in area marching competition in the San Antonio area on Saturday. Cruz rolling right. It's got a man open. Angel Espinosa with the catch at the 26 and taken out of bounds over on the far side as he crosses the 25 to the 24-yard line. A 6-yard gain on that sprint out pass. Maverick offense looking to answer after a 71-yard touchdown drive for the Southside Cardinals. 10.5 minutes left in the first half. Ball on the far hash mark. And Cruz Jr. in the shotgun with Brian Leos on his left. Here comes Jaime Rojas across the formation. Here to the near slot. It's a keeper by Cruz. Trying to turn the corner, and he's going to fall down at the 28. Loss of 4 yards on the carry. That Southside defense stayed home, strung him out, and Cruz Jr. had nowhere to go. It's going to make it a 3rd and 8 now from the 28-yard line. Ball on the near hash mark. Under 10 minutes left in the first quarter. I want to thank all of you listening on the EPISD YouTube channel on iVision, and those of you listening on Eagle Pass Sports Central on our Facebook page and YouTube channel as well. The snap, Cruz Jr. running away from the blitz, lets the pass go, and it's incomplete. Kevin Sugaki was in the area, but the pressure coming from the left side of the defensive formation, and Cruz Jr. was in trouble being chased. The Mavericks are going to keep their offense on the field on a 4th and 8 from the 28-yard line after that incompletion. From the near hash mark, Cruz in the shotgun trying to convert on 4th down. Rolls to the right side. He's got a man in his face, now has to keep it himself, and he's going to get swallowed up back at the 31 for a loss of a yard. That play broke down because, again, same thing, the defensive pressure, the defensive left end just went straight up field with no one to block him, and he was in Cruz's face almost immediately after the snap. That's the side that Cruz was rolling out to. Just didn't have time to look downfield and find anybody open. So the ball goes over on downs. And the Cardinals are going to take over at the 31, just as they did in their previous drive, with 9:21 left in the first half. Delayed handoff. Good job of the Maverick defense of corralling the running back, Jolija Pritchard. And Pritchard is brought down after a gain of only 2 yards to the 33. 2nd and 8 from there. Tough run there by Pritchard with about 3 or 4 Mavericks hanging on to him, trying to drag him down by the uniform. Pritchard's going to go off the field now. And on 2nd and 8 from the near hash mark, the Cardinals will come from the shotgun. Escobar with running back on his left. The toss is to the left, and room over on the far side to turn the corner. There's a flag that came in late on that run by Samuel Corona. In the area of a hold, right when Corona turned the corner over on the far side. Our referee, Pete Hero, is going to tell us that that was indeed a hold. It's going to cost the Cardinals 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And we'll see where this ball ends up after they step it off. From the 33, it looks like. So this ball is going to end up back at the 23, where it will remain 2nd down now. 2nd and long from there. It's a good break for that Maverick defense. Corona had found the way to turn the corner over on the far side. Defensive substitutions now for the Mavericks before this play. Ball on the far hash mark. Now we've got a flag. Somebody must have said something before the start of this play. It's going to be a substitution infraction, I think, against the Cardinals. Add 5 more yards to that. The ball is now going to be at the 18. And I don't know if maybe someone didn't report. It was before the snap. 5-yard penalty there to the 18. 7:55 left in the second quarter. And it's a 2nd and very long here for the Cardinals. Escobar is in the shotgun. Delayed handoff to the running back there, Samuel Corona. And Corona can make it only back to the 20, a 2-yard gain. It's going to be a 3rd and long for the Cardinals. If the Maverick defense can hold here and stop them from converting on 3rd down, you would expect the Mavericks to get good field position on the punt that would come after that. The Mavericks still with all 3 timeouts left. The Cardinals won the coin toss pregame and elected to defer, so they're going to get the ball first in the second half. It's important for the Mavericks to try to score here late in the first half. Here's the pass play back over to the far side of the field. The pass is caught at the 22-yard line by Corona, but the Maverick defense is on him very quickly. And it's going to be a 4th and very long now. The Cardinals are going to have to punt this off. And again, the Mavericks have a chance to start their next drive with very good field position. Bobby Cabrera standing and Jaime Rojas standing near midfield. Flag on the play. Cabrera with a fair catch, but touched the football at the 41, and the Cardinals are on it. We're going to see what this flag is. This is going to be very important. And I think the officials are saying that the Mavericks were able to retain possession of that. It is a windy night here, and I think that ball hung up in the air and was being kind of tossed around by the wind, and Cabrera just couldn't contain it. Even though he called a fair catch, it caught him off guard. There was a flag back here at the 24-yard line, so we've got to figure out what all this is about for now. But from what we're seeing down on the field, this will be the 2nd Maverick turnover of the game, and Southside will retain possession now in Maverick territory at the 41. The penalties and offsides on the punt against the Mavericks, it's going to be declined because the result of the play is a Cardinal recovery on a muffed punt by Bobby Cabrera. Cardinals will start at the Maverick 41 with 6:19 left in the second quarter. Here's a delay to Corona. And Corona is able to get inside the 40 to the 38. 3-yard gain there. Makes it 2nd and 7. Boy, the Mavericks, that defense did exactly what it needed to do and contained the Southside offense. They had them on a 4th and long, forced the punt, and then the offsides, which still wouldn't have not gotten the Cardinals a first down. It was just going to tack on 5 yards. But what really cost the Mavericks there was that muffed punt. Quick pass, caught plenty of room over on the far side of the field at about the 33-yard line. That pass caught by Jaden Iglesias, and Iglesias gets that to the 31. Should be enough for the chains to move on a first down. I don't know if they're going to take the time to measure here. It's inches, if anything. The officials are going to take a look. And they will measure on a second down pass. Caught by Iglesias very near the yard to get at the 31. 7-0 is the Cardinal lead with 5:22 left here in the second quarter. They're going to bring out the chains to measure to see if the Cardinals have gotten a first down here near the 31-yard line. If they haven't, they've got to be just a couple of chain links away. The officials stretching out the chains now over on the far side of the field. And the ruling is that the Cardinals are just a bit shy of the first down by maybe an inch or two. They're going to spot that ball at the 31, and they're going to call it 3rd and 1. So to the 31-yard line on the far hash mark come the Cardinals. We've seen the tush-push work effectively for them. Looks like that's the play that's coming as Escobar is going to be under center. They get the ball snapped, and Escobar dives forward for a Cardinal first down at the 30. On the quarterback sneak, clock continues to tick. 5:03 left in the first half. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the 30. Again, the Mavericks have 2 games left this season. This one tonight against Southside, their last home game of the season. Next week, they'll be in San Antonio against Southside to finish off their season. 4:42 left on the clock. Escobar under center. The toss back to Corona. And Corona trying to turn the corner down here on the near sideline. Gets 2 yards to the 28. It'll be a 2nd and 8 from there on the toss to Corona. The clock does stop as Corona was taken out of bounds. Both of these teams still have all 3 of their timeouts left here in the first half. 7-0 is the Southside lead. A 31-yard drive that ended in a 4-yard quarterback sneak from the quarterback Escobar back in the first half. Or back in the early second quarter, rather. Here's a carry again, straight up the field goes Corona inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, and it's a first down. Corona running north and south there. A little toss back to the right side of the offensive line, and the Maverick defense was unable to get a hold of him until after he was inside the 20-yard line. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 18 there for the Cardinals. Substitutions on offense. Pritchard, one of the men who's coming in. Elijah Pritchard is going to be in the backfield along with the quarterback Escobar. It is a delayed counter for Pritchard. He gets stood up at the line of scrimmage by Humberto Munoz. No gain there. To the 18 goes Pritchard. Be a 2nd and 8. There's no gain there, actually. 2nd down and 10 as the line of scrimmage is the 18. And we are 3:18 away from the end of the first half. The Maverick defense again trying to hold on here. The Cardinals are going to get the ball back first in the second half. So it's very important for the Mavericks here to hold off and then try to get the ball back for their offense. From the shotgun, Escobar rolling left. Here comes the pressure. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. That ball actually left his grasp, but it was fumbled out of bounds. The officials are going to keep the clock moving. It's a 3-yard loss back to the 21. So it's going to be 3rd and 13 now on the quarterback run over to the far side of the field. And the clock continues to tick with 2:40 left. A reminder that the clock does stop with 2 minutes before the end of each half. 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Ball's at the 21 and a 3rd and 13 for the Cardinals. The Maverick defense has done this once already. They've stopped them deep in their own part of the field. Escobar is in the backfield by himself. Here comes the pressure. Steps left. Lets the pass go. Incomplete. Outstanding job of coverage. Ezequiel Banda on the coverage over on the far side of the field. Managed to tip that ball away. And now it is a 4th and 13 from the 21. And we're going to see here whether the Cardinals bring out the field goal kicking unit or whether they're going to keep the offense on the field. And it looks like that offense is going to stay on. The clock does stop at 2:09 because of the incompletion. And we're going to have a timeout called by Southside. It comes with 2:09 left in the first half. We'll take it with them. 7-0 is the Cardinal lead. .209 left in the first half. And on a 4th and 12 now. The Southside Cardinals with their offense on the field. Escobar from the far hash mark. Into shotgun. Steps into the throw. It's caught at the 15 and brought down just at the line to get at the 8 is the receiver, number 3, Jaden Iglesias, and that's just enough for a Cardinal first down. Iglesias came all the way on a crossing route, all the way from the left side of the field, and Escobar found him as he was reaching the middle of the field, and it's a 1st and goal for the Cardinals from the 8. And that will be the 2-minute timeout before the end of the half. 7-0 is a Cardinal lead, but Southside is threatening late in the first half. 2 minutes left before the end of the first half. First and goal for Southside here. The handoff to Corona, bounces right, trying to get past the Maverick defense, is unable to. Their good job of bringing him down there. Julian Perez and Avon Chavez on the tackle for the Mavericks. A loss of a yard back to the 9, where it's going to be second and goal. The Cardinals do have 2 timeouts left in this first half as we reach the minute and a half mark before the end of the first half. The Cardinals are going to open up the second half of play with the football. And so it is very important here for the Maverick defense to step up and not allow a score. Here's a handoff to Pritchard. Pritchard finds his way through the defense and in for the 9-yard touchdown run. Pritchard with his first touchdown of the game. It comes with 1:10 left in the first half. Josh Orantes on for the point after attempt. The kick is up and through. And the score now, Cardinals 14, Mavericks nothing with 1:10 left before the end of the first half. Orantes will be kicking off after that 9-yard touchdown run by Jelijah Pritchard. Makes the lead 14-0 in favor of the Cardinals. 3 men back deep to receive for the Mavericks. Orantes with a line drive kick. It's going to be fielded by Bobby Cabrera at the 6. Cabrera coming here to midfield. Now heads up the near hash mark. It's across the 30. To the 32, it looks like. There are flags after the play, as we had a lot of extracurricular activity, fighting and such at the tail end of the play. We're going to see who this is against and what the officials saw down on the field. Referee Pete Hero will give us the call. And it's offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. A little pushing and shoving down there. They're going to assign one each to both sides, to each side, and we'll move on with 1:01 left. Mavericks are going to start at the 31. We'll see if the Mavericks go into a bit of a hurry up here. They do have all 3 timeouts left in the first half, and again, it's very important that they get some points on the board because the Cardinals are going to get the ball back first to start the second half. Ball at the 31 on the near hash mark. Kudos Jr. is into shotgun. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Brian Leos in the backfield on his right. There's the snap, the handoff to Brian Leos. Has a little bit of a running lane up the middle of the defense. He'll be brought down at the 38, a gain of 7 yards on the carry for Brian Leos. And we've got a timeout called on the field by the Mavericks. When we come back, it's going to be a 2nd and 4. Mavericks trying to score some points before the end of the half. With 53 seconds left, the Mavericks a 2nd and 4 from the 38. Cruz rolling to the right, pumps once, lets the pass go. He's got a man in the area. Kevin Sugaki with the catch over on the far sideline at the 35. An outstanding throw. Sugaki had a defender all over him and was able to come down with the ball in Southside territory at the 35. First down for the Mavericks. From there, with 48 seconds left, the clock stops as Sugaki went out of bounds on the catch. Ball in the far hash mark. And just like that, the Mavericks are in Southside territory. They need to score here at the end of the half. Cruz Jr. in the shotgun with two receivers on either side of the formation. Takes the snap. The handoff to Brian Leos. Gets past the first wave of tacklers and is brought down at the 33. We'll see if the Mavericks use one of their timeouts here after a gain of only 2 yards. And they do. That's the second Maverick timeout of the first half. 40 seconds left before the end of the half. The Mavericks trying to score some points. 14-0 is the Cardinal lead. Before the end of the half, Mavericks have one timeout left. Cruz Jr. takes the snap, rolls right. Now he's going to step up in the pocket, lets the pass go. It's incomplete. He had Angel Espinosa in the area there at about the 18-yard line. Clock stops with 35 seconds. And the ball will remain at the 38, where it's going to be a 3rd and 8 now. At the 33, check that, where it's going to be a 3rd and 8. Clock stops on the incompletion with 35 seconds. The Mavericks have one timeout left. Cruz from the shotgun, 3 receivers over to the top side. Now Brian Leos going to go out to the end of the line to offer some extra protection. Cruz pumps once as he rolls right. There's the pass. It's caught at the 21-yard line, and the Mavericks have to hurry up to the line. The clock will stop momentarily. Kevin Sugaki with the catch at the 20. Clock will stop while they move the chains. It is a first down for the Mavericks. They set up quickly, and Juan Cruz Jr., instead of spiking it, took a knee, and so the clock is going to keep moving. Now the Mavericks have to use their last timeout with 15 seconds. We'll be back. Seconds left in the first half. The Mavericks have a 2nd and 13 from the 23-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Here comes Jaime Rojas to the near side. In motion before the snap. Brian Leos to the right side of the line. Cruz drops straight back. Pumps once. Here comes the defense. Now comes all the way here to the near side of the field. Still directing traffic. The pass is intercepted at the 2-yard line. And that's going to be probably the last play of the first half, although there are still 3 seconds left in the first half. That interception from Jaden Iglesias, the third Maverick turnover of the first half, a fumble, a muffed punt, and an interception. Three seconds left before the end of the first half. You would think here the Cardinals are going to take an E to run out the clock. But they do have 2 timeouts left. 3 seconds not really enough to do a whole lot, and that is exactly what the quarterback Escobar will do, take an E in order to run the clock. 14-0 is the Cardinal lead. We'll see you folks from iVision back here for the second half. For those of you joining us on our Eagle Pass Sports Central YouTube page and Facebook page and YouTube channel. We want to thank our sponsors, Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Choch's Barbecue, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship of these broadcasts and our weekly prediction shows. We've got one prediction show left next week, sponsored by State Representative Eddie Morales, and we've got 2 games to bring you. Tomorrow's game against the United South Panthers for the Eagles, and in all likelihood, that last game of the season against Del Rio up in Del Rio. We'll see you back here for the start of the second half.
Devani Banderas and Lieutenant Paulina Garza. Guard members of the week are the seniors. The band will perform selections from their 2025 UIL show entitled Enjoy the Ride, which includes Ride by Hazel, Fast as You by Yoakum, Fast Car by Chapman, and If You Might Think by the Cars. And now, ladies and gentlemen, stand up and get ready for your 5-time UIL Area H finalists, the CC Winn Thunderin' Maverick Band.
Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the second half. 14-0 is the Southside lead. You saw the Thundering Maverick band there at halftime. We want to wish them well as they go to area marching contest on Saturday, and hope that they are able to move on to state competition the week after that. The Cardinals will open up with the ball the second half. Sugaki will kick this off. Short kick, headed to about the 25, fielded there at about the 26 on the far side of the field, and down quickly is the return man to the 31. That's where Southside will start. The Cardinals do have 171-yard drive already in this ball game. That was the first scoring drive in the first half, early on in the second quarter. And the Maverick defense again here first opens up the second half, trying to hold back this Cardinal offense. Pritchard in the backfield along with Escobar. Here's the snap. It's a keeper by Escobar on the fake handoff. Good job of bringing him down at the line of scrimmage there on the tackle. Sebastian Ibarra. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 there as Escobar ran out of room there. Good job by Ibarra of clamping on there and not letting go. It's actually a loss of 1 as the line of scrimmage is a 32. And so it's a 2nd and 11 now for Southside with the ball on the far hash mark. 2 running backs in the backfield along with Escobar. The pass is caught at the 36. Up the field goes the receiver. Number 8 for the Cardinals, Seferino Nino. And Nino gets that pass, that catch, and a carry all the way to the 40. A 9-yard gain there. And it's a 3rd and 2 now. Lots of cushion over on the other side for that Southside defender. Late substitutions now for the Maverick defense. Just underway here in the second half. Escobar's going to be under center now on a 3rd and 2. And movement from the right guard on that Southside offensive line. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. And it'll make it a 3rd and 7 now. Ball's going to end up back here at the 35. That's a good break for that Maverick defense who has to defend now on a 3rd and 5 instead of a 3rd and 2. On a 3rd and 7 rather instead of a 3rd and 2. Escobar from the shotgun is going to move Corona to the left side. Escobar dropping back. The line holds up. There's a pass caught at the 48-yard line on the far side of the field, and down the field, up the field rather, on the far sideline, and goes the receiver Maddox Salazar. Salazar broke free of his coverage, came back to the football on a little fluttering pass, and goes into Maverick territory to the 43. First down from there for Southside. Salazar has come up with a couple of big catches so far in this game. 10:39 left in the 3rd quarter. Cardinals come to the line of scrimmage, the 43 in Maverick territory from the far hash mark. Escobar again is going to be under center. Fakes the pass, and the handoff is to the up man in the formation. That's Maddox Salazar again. And Salazar gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from the 43 for Southside. On the carry by Salazar. If the Mavericks can hold the Cardinals here and not allow them to score a touchdown, they have enough time in the second half to make a comeback. But the Cardinals, both of their scoring drives have been lengthy. Flags on the play before the snap. A false start is the early indication. That's exactly what the call is going to be. It's going to be 5 yards in the opposite direction for the Cardinal. Ball's going to end up at the Maverick 48 near midfield, where it's going to be a 2nd and 15 now. Under 10 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Substitutions for the Mavericks very late coming onto the field, but they'll be able to get set before this next snap. Here comes the blitz right up the middle. Escobar lets the pass go. It's caught at the 45, and then a couple of more yards for the receiver, Jaden Iglesias. And Iglesias gets that pass, that catch to the 43. A gain of 5 on the carry is going to be a 3rd and 10 now. All of these Cardinal receivers get plenty of yards after the reception, after the catch. And you saw Iglesias do the same thing there, evading a tackler and gobbling up about 3 or 4 extra yards in the process. 9:21 left in the 3rd. On a 3rd and long, a pass caught by Iglesias again over on the left flat. And just as we talked about, after the catch, he's able to move it upfield to the 38. Not enough for a first down, but the offense is going to stay on the field. It's a 4th and 5 now for the Cardinals. They have converted on about 2 or 3 fourth downs already in this game. The Maverick defense has to stop them here on 4th and 5. From the 38, man in motion. That's Corona coming here to the near side. That pass is tipped and incomplete, intended for Maddox Salazar. A great job down on the field by Jacob Jimenez, the linebacker, stepping back into that passing lane and tipping that ball, and the ball goes over on downs. Good job by the Maverick defense of holding Southside in their first possession of the game. They also didn't take up a whole lot of clock. There's still 9:07 left in the third quarter, and the Mavericks are going to take over at their own 38. And with 9:07 left in the third, the Mavericks have the ball now at the 38, looking to get some points on the board. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. This handoff is to Brian Leos, who bounces left, and the defense is all over him. A loss of 2 yards back here to the 36. Going to be a 2nd and 12 now for the Mavericks, and you have to think that Southside defense talked about keying in on Brian Leos during halftime. Maverick offense will come to the 35, the line of scrimmage, with 8:34 left on the clock. Juan Cruz Jr. into shotgun, 3 receivers over to the top side. One split out wide left here. Brian Leos moves to the end of the line now. Cruz Jr. rolls out in that direction. Looking downfield, there's the pass. It's tipped and very nearly intercepted by Maddox Salazar at the 40. And it's a 3rd and 13 now. And this is the kind of situation that the Maverick offense has tried to avoid. Long down and distances. 8:19 left. Clock stops because of the incompletion. And the Mavericks face a 3rd and 13 on their first drive of the second half. Goes into shotgun, takes the snap, rolls right. Looking for someone downfield. Plants, lets a pass go just out of reach of Kevin Sugaki down here at the 35-yard line, who was streaking across the field and was open, but a lot of pressure in Juan Cruz's face, and I think he got hit right as he released that ball from behind, and the Mavericks are going to have to punt this ball off. A 3rd and out on their first offensive possession of the second half. 8:11 left in the third quarter, and the Mavericks are going to punt this ball to the Southside Cardinals, who are leading 14-0. Sugaki will stay on for the punt. Cardinals have 2 men back here waiting to receive this. Kick is high in the air. Gets past Iglesias, takes a good Maverick bounce, and finally rolls out of bounds at the 20. Good job by Kevin Sugaki of getting that punt some distance on it. And so the Cardinals are going to start at the 20 with 8:01 left here in the third quarter. 14-0 is the Cardinal lead. The Mavericks, you had to think at halftime, talked about containing this Cardinal offense. The Maverick defense held up well in their first drive, the Cardinals' first drive of the second half. Maverick offense, though, needs to get going here. A 3rd and out to open up the second half there. 8:01 left in the third quarter. Ball's at the 20-yard line on the near hash mark, and Escobar will be in the shotgun. There's the snap. The delayed handoff. Caught in the backfield is the running back. Samuel Corona. Corona, a loss of 5 all the way back to the 15. Even Chavez in on that tackle. And you've got to imagine that the Maverick defense talked about keeping their eyes in the backfield and seeing who's going to have the ball. They've been doing a good job so far of controlling that ground game. Toss back. Corona has to wrangle it in, and he's going to get spread out over the top side of the field, over to the far sideline, unable to turn the corner. Good job of the Maverick defense stringing him out there. Ball will be at the 19. Gain of 4 yards. It's going to be now a 3rd and 11. Almost had a fumble there as on the tossback. Corona had to reach out with one hand, with his right hand, and bring it in. 6:45 left in the third quarter. Mavericks down 14-0, but the defense looking to stop the Cardinals here on a 3rd and long. Quick pass, tipped and incomplete. Very nearly intercepted. The pass tipped at the line. Good job there by Jacob Jimenez, who tipped the previous 3rd down pass. And it's a 3 and out for the Cardinals. Outstanding job of the Maverick defense. The ball will go back to the Mavericks here on a punt. The Cardinals are punting from their own 5. Bobby Cabrera and Jaime Rojas standing at about midfield. They've got to be careful here on this punt. Very late substitution for the Mavericks. Punt is high in the air. It's going to kick at the 50 and then take a very good Cardinal roll inside the 40 to the 38. Exactly where the Mavericks started their first drive of the second half. This one starts with 6:18 left in the third quarter. And the Mavericks within striking distance still. This game is not out of hand. 14-0. The Maverick defense has held up very well early on in the second half here. They've created a 3 and out on the second drive for the Cardinals, and only an 8-yard drive over on downs in the first drive of the second half for Southside. 6:18 left in the third quarter. Here comes the Maverick offense trying to get something going here. Juan Cruz Jr. is in the backfield with 2 receivers on either side of the formation in the shotgun. Brian Leos on his right. The handoff is to Leos. Up the middle he goes and gets brought down as he crosses the 40. The ball popped loose at the end of that play, but they're going to say that Leos was down at the 42. A gain of 4 yards on the carry is going to make it 2nd and 6 for the Mavericks. They've got to get Brian Leos going. He's really been the workhorse the past couple of weeks, which was a victory for the Mavericks 2 weeks ago against Martin, and then a very close game last week up at Southwest. 5:50 left now in the third quarter. Cruz Jr. in the shotgun with 2 men on either side of the formation, and Brian Leos now on his left. There's the snap. The quarterback keeper by Cruz, he's going to get swallowed up in the backfield for a loss of the 4 yards that Brian Leos gained. The ball is back now at the 38, where it's going to be a 3rd and 10. Juan Cruz Jr. has just not been able to get going on the ground in this game for the Mavericks. 5:24 left in the third quarter, a 3rd and 10, and the Mavericks really have to convert here to keep this drive going with 5:17 now left in the third quarter. Here comes the Maverick offense. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun with Brian Leos on his right. 3 receivers over to the top side of the formation, the right side, and 1 man split out wide left. Jump from the defensive line. This looks to be a free play, and the intended receiver down here was number 6, Ezequiel Banda. We do have a flag as he was obstructed on his way to the ball by the defensive back for the Cardinals, Landon Ortiz, and we're going to have 2 penalties, looks like, against Southside, an offsides and then a pass interference. The referee is waiting to hear from the official over here who threw a flag near the pass. The offsides penalty is declined. The pass interference will be accepted, and the Mavericks are going to move the ball now, courtesy of that penalty, into Cardinal territory at the 47. 4:51 left in the third quarter. Again, still a game that's not out of hand. Within striking distance are the Mavericks. 14-0 is the Maverick gap for now. The Cardinal lead, 14-0. 4:51 left in the third quarter. And the Mavericks with a fresh set of downs here at the 47. Cruz Jr. into shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to Brian Leos. He's got to make sure to get that handoff off. That ball is on the ground, but they're going to say he was down at the 46. Little dicey handoff there. We've seen that go wrong once very early on in the game, that mesh point between the quarterback and the running back. Brian Leos, though, was able to control it and gain a yard to the 46. It'll be 2nd and 9 for the Maverick offense from there. Ball will be on the near hash mark. 4:21 left in the third quarter. The Mavericks looking to put some points on the board here. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun with Brian Leos on his right, 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. 1 man split out wide left. Here goes Brian Leos to the end of the line to protect for his quarterback, who is moving. There's a pass. It's caught inside the 35-yard line by number 13, Angel Espinosa, and Espinosa has the Mavericks a first down at the 34. More of what you'd like to see from Cruz Jr. there. Didn't wait a long time. Made a decision quickly. He saw Espinosa open and he let the pass go. That's really what the Mavericks need to do whenever they roll Juan Cruz Jr. out. He's got to make quick decisions, and he made one there. And the result is a first down for the Mavericks from the 34. Ball on the right hash mark, the far one from our vantage point. Cruz into shotgun, 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Here's a snap, the handoff to Brian Leos, trying to weave his way around. It's actually a keeper by Juan Cruz Jr., still on his feet at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, and into the end zone. Juan Cruz Jr. fooled all of us, the Cardinal defense and me. He kept the ball, and down the field he goes for a 34-yard touchdown run. The Mavericks are on the board. 6-0 is the score for now. 14-6 is the score for now. 3:10 left in the third quarter. Sugaki will come on for the point after. The kick from Sugaki is on its way, and it is good. And the Mavericks have done exactly what they needed to here with 3:10 left in the third quarter. They're within a touchdown now. 14-7 is the Southside lead. On the return, on that kickoff after the touchdown, the returner for Southside with some open lanes there is able to get that ball to the 38. The Cardinals will start from there with 3:04 left here in the third quarter. The Maverick defense has done an outstanding job so far in the second half of containing this Cardinal offense. Let's see if they can keep this up and get the ball back to that Maverick offense with some time left here in the third quarter. We're going to have a timeout now called on the top side of the field. That'll be the first Southside timeout of the second half. 3:04 left in the third quarter. Cardinals up 14-7 over the Mavericks. With 3:04 left in the third quarter, the Southside Cardinals have taken their first time out of the second half. Here is a handoff. Up the middle goes the running back. Still on his feet is Corona. Corona gets near the 45 to the 44. 6-yard gain for Corona. They're running hard after first contact. We talked about it in the first half. These Southside running backs don't go down on first contact, and the receivers tend to get yards after the catch. So the Maverick defense has to be good on tackling here in this ball game. 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Here is a low snap. It's got to be picked up by Escobar and then handed off to Corona. Corona's able to get only to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him forward progress to the 44. And it's a 3rd and 4 from there. There is a man down there that looks to be Samuel Corona, the running back, who's down there at the 41. With 2:14 left, we're going to take a timeout while they attend to the young man over on the far side of the field. Well, you hate to see something like that. Corona being carried off the field to the far sideline, not able to put any pressure on his right leg. Football is a violent sport after all, and we certainly wish that young man the best. Here's a quick pass. Intercepted at the 50-yard line. Avon Chavez comes up with the interception, and the Maverick offense will be on the field again near the 46. Avon Chavez was in coverage right there at midfield, and as Escobar tried to get the ball into a tight window, the receiver kind of fumbled around with it, and all of a sudden, Avon Chavez had that ball in his breadbasket. The first turnover of the ball game for Southside. It comes in the third quarter with 1:57 left, and the Mavericks have an opportunity to tie this game here before the end of the third quarter with the ball at the Cardinal 46 from the far hash mark. Cruz Jr. hands off to Brian Leos. Trying to push the pile forward. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, the 46. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 from there. That Cardinal defense has done a good job of bottling up Brian Leos here in the second half. In fact, they're so keyed in on him that they bit on that touchdown run from Juan Cruz Jr. Everybody followed Brian Leos, and Cruz Jr. kept the ball himself, went in for the first Maverick touchdown of the game. 1:23 left in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the top side of the formation for Juan Cruz Jr. There's the snap. Steps back. Now comes to this side. Here's the pressure. Rolling way back inside the 40. There's a pass. It's incomplete. He had a couple of receivers at the 40, and that ball dangerously thrown near a Southside defensive back. Good job, though, of getting rid of it. And on the incompletion, it's going to be a 3rd and 10. A minute 7 left. Clock stops on the incompletion, and the Mavericks face a 3rd and 10 in Cardinal territory at the 46. You'd like to think if you can get the most yards possible on this play, if you're shy of a first down, this is 4-down territory. Cruz Jr. into shotgun, takes a snap, looks left, lets the pass go. It's caught by Ezequiel Banda at the 41-yard line, and he's dropped there. It's going to be a 4th and 5 now. And the Maverick offense will come off the field. Looked like for a minute there, the Mavericks were thinking about going for it. Instead, they're electing to play the field position game. And when your defense has been playing as well as it has been in the second half, you do want to try to pin them deep. Kevin Sugaki is the punter on a 4th and 5, and he'll try to pin the Cardinals deep on this punt. Sugaki, the ball is up in the air, and it will go out of bounds at the near sideline official is still going. Oh, boy, all the way to the 20. I think that ball went out closer to the 15. That's what René Ramirez is trying to tell the official down there. But that ball will go out at the 20. The Cardinals are going to start from there with 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. Outstanding performance here in the second half by this Maverick defense, forcing a turnover and not allowing the Cardinals to score at all here after 3 offensive possessions in the second half. 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Here comes Escobar from the shotgun with 2 running backs in the backfield with him and 1 wide receiver on either side of the formation. The referee will wind the clock now. And Escobar will take the snap, hands off to Pritchard. Pritchard trying to pick his way through the Maverick defense, finally brought down just shy of the 25 at the 24 for a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 coming up. And that will be the last play of the third quarter. We're going to switch sides of the field. 1 more quarter of play left. The Mavericks down 14-7. At the start of the fourth quarter, 14-7 is the Southside lead. 2nd and 6 from the 25-yard line for the Cardinals. The pass caught at the 29-yard line over on the far side of the field. That's Jaden Iglesias with the catch. They're going to say that's good enough for a first down at the 30. Iglesias, one of the top athletes on this Southside roster. Near the start of the fourth quarter now, the Maverick defense shut out this Southside offense really in the first and the third quarters in this ballgame. The only scoring for the Cardinals that came in the second quarter, 2 touchdowns. Other than that, the Maverick defense has stood up well. 11-14 left in the ballgame. Here is a handoff to Pritchard. He's got room on the right side of the formation, still on his feet. This is what we've been talking about. It is hard to bring down these Cardinal running backs on first contact. Pritchard gets that all the way to the 38. An 8-yard carry will make it a 2nd and 2. This Maverick defense held up well all throughout the third quarter. They're looking to do more of the same here and get that Maverick offense the ball back as quickly as possible. Here's another carry up the middle of the formation. Goes Pritchard again, and Pritchard gets across the 40 to the 42. It's a first down for the Cardinals, and they've found something here. And running Pritchard out of the backfield, and the Maverick defense has really has to step up now here and contain this running attack by the Southside Cardinals. 10-14 left in the ball game. It's a 7-point lead for Southside, and the Mavericks trying to hold them back here at the start of the fourth quarter. See the defensive play coming in from co-defensive coordinator Coach Hoffman down there on the field. Here's a toss back to Pritchard. Pritchard is going to be held up after a gain of only a couple of yards to the 44. 2nd and 8. The Maverick defense is getting a steady diet of Jolijah Pritchard here in the fourth quarter. And, of course, the Southside offense in no hurry to snap the ball here. They're going to grind the clock as much as possible here in the fourth quarter. Tight formation under center is Escobar. The handoff is to Pritchard again, who bounces right and gets past the first tackler. Is brought down finally across the 45 at the 46. A gain of 2 yards. And here comes a third down. It's going to be a 3rd and 6 now for the Cardinals, and the Maverick defense looking to stop them from making this third down conversion. Defensive substitutions for the Mavericks. Ball is on the far hash mark. Very crucial third down conversion attempt here for the Cardinals. The Maverick defense looking to hold them off. Quick pass. It is incomplete, not caught, not near the intended receiver over on the far side of the field. And now the Cardinals will bring on the punt team on a 4th and 6. Bobby Cabrera and Jaime Rojas back to receive this punt. They have to be careful that the ball is near them, that they make a good catch when that ball gets close to them. Kick is high on its way from the quarterback Escobar. Ball hits at the 20, and look at that thing roll all the way to the 2-yard line. And the punting has been a real problem in this game for the Mavericks. A muff punt and then a punt here that's going to settle in at the 3-yard line. The Mavericks are 97 yards away from tying this ball game up. 8:09 left in the ball game. The Mavericks are going to start from their own 3. Outstanding punt there by the quarterback for the Cardinals, Josiah Escobar. Juan Cruz Jr. standing about 4 yards deep in his own end zone. The handoff to Brian Leos, has room on the left side of the line. Gets stood up at the 4. A gain of a yard there for Brian Leos. 2nd and 9. Coming up for the match from the 4. They've got a long way to go to reach the end zone. One step at a time. They've got to put together some first downs here on this drive. Second and 9 from their own 4 for the Mavericks as we near the 7.5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. Juan Cruz Jr. standing right at his goal line. Will take the snap. Quick pass caught by Kevin Sugaki at the 4. He's got room and just was unable to clear the tackle from Maddox Salazar at the 9. Gain of 5 yards. And it's a 3rd and 4 from the 9-yard line for the Mavericks as we reach the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. That was a good tackle by Maddox Salazar. If Sugaki had run loose, he had a lot of green in front of him. In the shotgun is Cruz Jr. now. He'll take the snap, rolls left, looking downfield, still looking for someone open. There's a pass. It's incomplete, unable to be brought in by Zeke Banda at the 20-yard line. And the Mavericks are going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. 6:35 left. The clock stops on the incompletion. The Cardinals are going to have good field position here to start this drive with 6:35 left in the fourth quarter. Kevin Sugaki is going to punt this ball from about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. Here's a punt. I don't know if that was clipped or off the side of his foot, but that punt goes out of bounds. Wow. At the 22. The Cardinals are going to start at the 22 with 6:29 left deep in Maverick territory. And there's a flag on the play. It's a false start against the Mavericks. And now this Maverick defense really in a bind as the Cardinals are going to start this drive deep in a Maverick territory. The officials are still gathering here, trying to figure out the spot, I think. Now they're going to mark it off from the 20. The ball's going to end up at the 15. It'll be first down for the Cardinals from there. This is the worst case scenario in the fourth quarter for the Mavericks. The Cardinals flipped the field position on them, and the Mavericks could not get out of their own territory. Motion before the snap. The Mavericks are going to get those 5 yards back on that false start. Ball's going to end up back at the 20 where it'll be a 1st and 15. A takeaway here would be just what the doctor ordered for the Mavericks, a fumble or an interception. The Mavericks do have one interception, but they've turned the ball over 3 times in this ball game. A muffed punt, a fumble, and an interception. 6:28 left in the fourth. Ball on the near hash mark. Escobar is in the shotgun with Iglesias split out wide to the right of the formation. Late toss to Pritchard. Pritchard looking to turn the corner. On his feet still and taken out of bounds by Humberto Munoz over on the far sideline after a gain of 2 to the 18. 2nd and 13 now. You have to imagine here that this is 4-down territory for the Cardinals. They're going to keep this ball as long as possible. The clock is still winding, so Pritchard came down inbounds over on the far sideline. His clock is still ticking now with 5:50 left in the ball game. Escobar with the handoff again to Pritchard, looking for room on the left side. Is going to be brought down shy of the 15 at the 16. Another 2 yards on the carry for Pritchard. And it's going to be a 3rd and 11 now from the 16. Again, we mentioned it prior. This is probably 4-down territory. More importantly, the Cardinals are letting the clock wind down here. The Mavericks do have all 3 of their timeouts left in the second half, should they choose to use them, and the clock will stop at the 2-minute mark. Big play here on 3rd and 11. the Cardinals are going to have to call a timeout as they couldn't get their offensive formations in time, and that's good for the Mavericks. It makes the clock stop with 4:58. Mavericks down 14-7, looking to stop the Cardinals deep in Maverick territory. .458 left in the ball game. And the Mavericks trying to hold the Cardinals here on a 3rd and 11. Dropping back to pass is Escobar. Gets past the pressure. There's a pass. It's caught by Salazar at the 4. He lost the ball as he was on his way down. They're going to see if they're going to call him down or if they're going to say that that ball was fumbled through the end zone. Are they going to call that a touchback here? Coach Rene Ramirez arguing for that. This is a huge play. If Salazar was not down and that ball was fumbled through the end zone, then this is a touchback. We don't have a call from the officials yet. They're going to go talk about it with the referee. Of course, we don't have the capability for replay in high school football, so it's going to be a matter of first impression here on what the officials saw. Salazar caught that pass at the 5, headed upfield, and we saw that ball come loose from his grasp and then go through the goal line, past inside the goal line, and out of bounds. If he fumbled that there, then it should be a touchback. And the ruling is going to be that Salazar's knee was down at the 1, and so it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Cardinals from the 1-yard line. Escobar under center. We've seen him sneak in a touchdown already in this ball game. Unable to do it there. They're going to mark him down at the 1. Second and goal now for the Cardinals from there. And, of course, the problem is that the clock is still ticking. 4:19 left in the ball game. Mavericks down by 7. But the Cardinals are knocking on the door here with the ball at the 1-yard line. We'll be under 4 minutes left by the time the Cardinals snap this ball. Again, Escobar under center. The handoff is to Pritchard, and Pritchard goes into the end zone for the Southside touchdown. That touchdown comes with 3:53 left in the ballgame. You've got to hand it to the Maverick defense. I'm looking at the drive chart here in the second half for the Cardinals. 2 3-and-outs, an interception. You can only hold up for so much, and it's really difficult when the offense starts on your own 22. Kick is no good. And so the score now is Southside 20, Mavericks 7 with 3:53 left in the ballgame. .353 left in the ball game. Orantes with the kickoff line drive. Picked up on one hop at the 10 by Bobby Cabrera over on the far side of the field. Comes to the near side at the 20, 30, trying to turn the corner, puts his head down, and is taken out of bounds across the 35, it looks like. They're going to spot him right at the 35. The Mavericks will start from there with 3:53 left here in the ball game, and the Maverick offense looking to get a little closer here and maybe have an opportunity at a comeback. One more game in the season for the Mavericks after today. There's a hold against the Mavericks on the return. And so it'll cost them 10 yards. The 25 goes the ball. 24. And it'll be first down from there. Oh, they're placing this ball at the 14. Wow. So the Mavericks deep in their own territory now from the 14. Trying to keep the ball away from Southside for the remainder of this game and add some points on the scoreboard. 3:45 left. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun. Brian Leos on his left. There's a snap. Cruz Jr. looking for some room. Hasn't had much room to scramble back there. There's the pass incomplete. Kevin Sugaki was in the area, and Cruz Jr. was out of the tackle box. So it'll be a 2nd and 10 from the 14 now after the incompletion. Clock stops with 3:37. (20-7) is the Cardinal lead. We were telling you that the Mavericks are going to play one more game this season. That's next week up in South San. The Eagles will play here tomorrow, trying to stamp their ticket into the playoffs. United South comes in tomorrow against the Eagles. That'll be the Eagles' last game of the season as well. Pass incomplete. Intended for Kevin Sugaki at the 3. At the about the 20-yard line there. 3:32 left. Clock stops on the incompletion. And it's going to be a 3rd and 10 for the Mavericks from the 14. Eagles are here tomorrow against the United South Panthers, and then they've got one more game left after that in Del Rio to finish off the season. Cruz Jr. will take the snap, rolls left, looking for someone open, steps in the pocket, lets the pass go. It is incomplete. Matty Villaseñor was in the area there, streaking at about the 35-yard line. The Mavericks will punt with 3:26 left in the ball game. Cardinals are going to start this next drive in Maverick territory as well. Iglesias standing at about midfield, ready to receive this punt from Kevin Sugaki. Low snap. Sugaki's got to pick it up and get that punt off. He does. And it will roll out of bounds. Good job by Kevin Sugaki of picking up that low snap. He was able to get that punt off, and it'll go out of bounds here at the 47 in Maverick territory. The Mavericks here late in the season had a real surge, not just on the field, but you could feel the team surging in confidence. Those really 3 back-to-back games. Of course, they lost last week in Southwest, but they put up such a good effort. Here tonight, the task has been more difficult against the Southside team. 3:17 left in the ball game. Escobar under center, tosses back, And that ball is up in the air, and I think the Mavericks have recovered on that fumble. We're going to see down there the Mavericks do have the ball. The second turnover of the second half on a carry by Josh Orantes, who was on his way downfield. He had really beaten most of the Maverick defenders. And on the very last contact over there, ball went straight up in the air out of his arms. And the Mavericks have recovered that fumble. They've got the ball at the 37. The second turnover of the second half, an interception and a fumble. The Mavericks had 3 turnovers in the first half. Cruz Jr. rolling right, looking downfield. Now he's going to try to keep it himself. Goes all the way to the far side. He's got Matty Villaseñor open, and the catch is made by Villaseñor, and he gets that ball inside the 45 to the 44. Matty Villaseñor did exactly what you're supposed to do, which is he followed his quarterback on the scramble to that side of the field and got open for him. 2:47 left. Clock will stop at the 2-minute mark. Leos to the end of the line here. Cruz rolls right. Looks downfield. He's got Rojas open over on downfield. And Cruz, the pass caught again by Brian Leos at the 32. And Brian Leos gets that near the 25 to the 27-yard line. Jaime Rojas streaked across for Juan Cruz Jr. His vision just wasn't on that side of the field. He chose the harder throw here to Brian Leos, but Leos was able to make that catch and get it all the way here to the 27. Ball on the near hash mark, 2:20 left here in the ball game. Cruz takes the snap. Here's a handoff this time to Brian Leos. He gets caught up in the backfield. He'll move the pile inside the 25 to the 23. Gain of 4 there. And the Mavericks are going to call their first timeout of the second half. Actually, it's a 2-minute timeout here before the end of the ballgame. 20-7 is the Cardinal lead. The Mavericks are on the move. Two minutes left in the ball game. The Mavericks are on the move with the ball at the 23. They've got a 2nd and 6 there with the ball on the near hash mark. Juan Cruz Jr. in the shotgun. Brian Leos will step out to block at the left end of the line. Cruz Jr. pumps once, lets the pass go. It is caught inside the 15 by Matt Villaseñor. Again, at the 14-yard line, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Mavericks. Matty Villaseñor coming up big on this drive for the Mavericks towards the end of the game. 1:54 left. Villaseñor went out of bounds over on the far sideline, and so the clock stops with 1:54. Ball is on the 14-yard line. Mavericks looking to score and maybe get the ball back on an onside kick and do something with it there. Juan Cruz Jr. into shotgun, ball on the far hash mark. 3 receivers here to the near side, one split out wide left. That's Matty Villaseñor over on the left. Cruz steps back, now steps up in the pocket. Now rolling all the way back here to the 25, still keeping his eyes downfield. There's a pass, it's intercepted in the end zone. And that'll put an end to the Maverick drive there. The 4th turnover of the ball game for the Mavericks, might be the 5th. And with 1:44 now, the Cardinals will take over and no doubt just take an E here to grind out this clock. A minute 44. The Maverick offense not likely to see the ball back in this game. That interception in the end zone. Man with the interception took a knee there, so on the touchback, the ball comes out to the 20 for Southside. Toss back to Pritchard, who gets upended at the 20. Be a 2nd and 10 from there, and the clock will continue to tick. The Mavericks have used their first timeout of the second half. We'll be back. Off and moving the pile forward is the man with the football all the way to the 30. It's going to be a first down there. That's Maddox Salazar, and the Mavericks are going to use another timeout here with a minute 28 left in the ball game. 20-7 is the Cardinal lead. With a minute 28 left, Salazar again will take the handoff and be brought down at the 31. And the Mavericks will use their final timeout of the game with a minute 23. When we come back, Southside should be able to just kneel this and finish off the game. In the game, and you'll see the victory formation now as Escobar will take that snap, take a knee, and the clock will tick down. The Cardinals will have to snap this one more time. This will take Southside to 6-3 for the season, 5-2 in district. Southside, one of the playoff teams from District 14, 5A Division I. This next snap will come with a second left on the play clock. final knee there, and that will be the final play of the game. It's senior night here for the Mavericks, so we're going to have the senior walk at the end of this ball game as the Mavericks' home season has come to an end here at Cozell Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. No more home games for the Mavericks. They've got one more game next week up at South San on Friday. We'll let you know during the prediction show what, if any, games we will be covering for you next week. Final score from here. Cardinals 20, Mavericks 7. All of you joining us on the EPISD iVision YouTube channel, we want to thank you, as always, for looking onto these broadcasts. For those of you joining us on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel on Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our sponsors one final time. Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, Brown Chevrolet of Eagle Pass, Church's Barbecue, and State Representative Eddie Morales for their sponsorship of these games, these broadcasts, and our prediction shows. We've got one more week of high school football left in the regular season. We'll be here tomorrow night for homecoming as the Eagles welcome in the United South Panthers. Eagles will be at home, homecoming and senior night tomorrow for the Eagles. Join us then for a 7 o'clock kickoff. Until then, for my broadcast engineer, Cristina Valadez, my name is Ruben Valadez. I want to thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.